All right. What about now? Can Oh, no wonder you probably couldn't hear me a while ago because my microphone, my other mic wasn't wasn't on. So I'm pretty sure. Can you hear me better now, Miss Enya? Can you hear me better now? Please let me know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Miss Enya said, "Hey, Lady Hale, what's?" She said, "What's for lunch? What's for lunch there?" Well, today we had Chick-fil-A and we had a 12-piece chicken meal. I mean, a chicken nugget meal. It was really good, of course, with their famous Sunjoy, which is the half and half, half sweet tea, half lemonade is what we having now. All right, please let me know if you can. Okay, she said now she can. She said now she can hear me. Great, 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 great. Now you can hear me. So today, what I am talking about is for people what to be prepared for when your spouse becomes a creator. Because I know sometimes nobody prepares people. Like ever prepares people for that, right? Because there is a sacrifice that has to be made. That's going to include your time, a lot of your resources, some of your finances, etc. And what my goal today was to prepare you for that, right? Because growing a social media presence, number one, it just take time. Period. It's going to take time because guess what? Though y'all know each other, maybe some people in your community or in organizations, y'all know each other, but guess what? Everybody don't know you. So now you have to spend that time building up the brand, right? Building up the brand. And the brand is what actually takes priority. And that's a pain part for many people is because the brand takes priority. Someone may feel like, oh, well, we're not spending as much time together. We're not doing this as much together. Or if you have children, or we're not spending enough time with the kids, all those things come into play. And so the best way that I advise anybody to really overcome that will be to, first of all, sit down with your family. You need to sit down with your family. If it's just you and your spouse, you two need to sit down and kind of talk about what you guys are going to do, the plan and the process, but also too in making sure that the brand is being made aware, that also the brand of your marriage as well is still being taken care of. Because if not, it's so easy for jealousy and different things of that nature to slip in because the objective get forgot about whatever the purpose of you becoming a creator is, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. You need to sit down, you need to talk with your spouse. Number two, you need to set a budget, right? Because back in the day, you really didn't have to pay to play. You only had to really do keywords. And if you did keywords, brand awareness was very easy. But however, the YouTube algorithm is always changing, and with the pandemic, what ended up happening is, oh my goodness, it boosted a lot of channels because everybody's like, oh well, I'm gonna get online and I'm gonna start talking. People start creating classes, selling classes, etc., teaching new skills, all that type of stuff like that. So there was a big explosion, and so now it's the competition for eyes, right? And depending on your niche, the narrower your niche is, the more easier. You mean jealousy? What she said? Enya says, she says, you mean jealousy of your husband's time? Yeah, even jealousy of your husband's time, because sometimes you can be like, oh my God, they're out here creating, but afterwards, right? Because a lot of people don't tell you that content creating requires a lot of networking. So it's not just, oh, you get in the camera, you talk, you say whatever, or if they're hosting panels or whatever the case may be, then you have other people on and then you turn it off. Nope. It's not like that at all. Because after you turn those cameras off, guess what? You still have to communicate with your panel, talk with your panel, ask them were they comfortable, what did they like, what they didn't like, etc. And that can go on after we call in some things they call it the after show, but after the after show, where the content creator, they're not doing anything bad or anything like that, but when it's taking place at nighttime, right? You, as a content creator, you can be up to 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Then you have to get back up, get your kids up, get ready for school, get ready for work, whatever you do. Because most creators are bivocational, meaning they have a regular job, and then they also have the thing that they do on YouTube, right? And so it's easy for spouses alike to be like, God dog, they spend all that time afterwards, they're not spending time with me, except, etc. But you have to know that does come with the territory. And again, not because anybody is doing anything like nasty or nothing like that or inappropriate, but at that time, when those relationships are being made. Hey, Samantha. Hello. Samantha Michelle is in the house. Yes. I love Miss Enya. She's so supportive. Yeah, but that's what I mean, is that afterwards, whether it's daytime or nighttime, and then guess what? Because you're constantly putting out content, you're going to be tired and sleepy. So when they're done, guess what still has to be made? Food has to be made, right? So as a spouse, and especially those spouses who do support their spouses in what they do, and they're actually in it with them, right? It's the whole balancing of things. So number 3, I don't know what number I'm on, but number 3, you have to have that balance, your family balance. I have children. We have 4 kids, okay? So we have four kids. So not only do we have to balance like what goes on in the show, what goes on after the show, what goes on in our house, what goes on, in our personal time and whatnot. We still have our kids, right? They're still developing and growing, and they have feelings and all that stuff, like stuff like that. And then we have to schedule everything around everything, right? So if kids say, "Oh, I want to play football," like, you want to play football? Okay. Mom, I want to run track. I want to do band practice. I want to do band. And guess what happens? They have concerts. They have games. They have doctor's appointments. All those things have to definitely be balanced, right? So that's another thing. You have to, when being a content creator's spouse, you have to have that balance and make sure everything is scheduled accordingly. And this is what I'm going to tell you. At the end of the day, your family comes first. Can somebody type that for me? At the end of the day, your family comes first. Okay, let's go to some of these comments right here. Samantha says, so happy to see you both. Y'all like my little my little pink, my pinkness. I like pink. Samantha says, Hale, so happy to see you both. Miss Enya says, I didn't know that it took all of that. So as a wife, you have to really be there as a backbone in a way. You actually do, right? You actually do, because you have to, that's right, at the end of the day, family come first. You literally have to be there as a real support. As a real support, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to get up, you don't feel like talking to nobody, right? You really have to be there, whether you're in the front, whether people see you in the front or whether people see you in the back, okay? Now, the last point that I'm going to talk about, I am so not nervous, but I'm so used to pre-recording. Oh my God. I'm very used to pre-recording and everything. Let's see. Let's go to some of these comments. What did Samantha say? At the end of the day, family come first. That's right. At the end of the day, Miss Enya, that's absolutely correct. Family come first. And Miss Samantha said, There is so much that you have to do as a content creator. And then when you add family life, that to that, it is a busy and hectic schedule. Absolutely right. It's a very hectic schedule, and then just making sure that your time is bound. Oh my God, time is everything. Then if you add on to of course you have your work schedule and everything if you work, but what if the other spouse as well is a content creator in their very separate niches, right? So like my husband does empowerment type stuff, and I do more business and some empowerment stuff, but I do more, hey girl, let's chat, let's talk about it, and crafting and craft business, right? So there's two 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 different niches, and then it comes down to, okay, well, which one are we gonna really focus on, right? Because thank God for people like Samantha, Miss Inya, and all the great moderators. Let me tell you something. When you have moderators, it is such a blessing to content creators. You know, I know some people like, I'll never get on a thing, but if one thing that you can do, if you want to help support the various content creators that you love and adore, I'm telling you, one thing is that moderation piece. It helps so much. It keeps bad actors, number one, out of the out of the comment section, but it's just like a release that at least now they can focus on content versus have to focus on the content, focus on the chat, focus on this, focus on that. So to everyone who's moderating in these YouTube streets, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because it is such, when I tell you it's such a blessing, it is really such a blessing. Look like what Miss Inya say? She said, at Samantha as a moderator, is it the same way Sir Hale Network LLC? Sir Hale LLC is a business. It actually is a business, and I'm gonna talk about that in just a few. Oh, thank you, Samantha. She said, I love you being live. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Inya, you just brought up something that is really, really the business, right? Because YouTube is a big business. And as the spouse of a content creator, or even if you are an aspiring content creator as well, it is a business, and you literally have to work this thing like a full-time job. Okay, when I say a full-time job, I mean putting your time and your effort into it. Of course, live stream is one of the best ways to begin to build up your following, etc. However, if you don't live stream, like I don't live stream a lot. I don't even know why I get nervous, but sometimes I do get nervous. But when I do live stream, I do like a pre-recorded, and then I live stream, because I still want to have, you know what I'm saying, that interactive piece and everything. But YouTube is a business, so you have to you of course you have your equipment, which is your camera, your lights, your microphones, all of that stuff like that, right? So you have all that, your lighting, you know, everything that you see around here is, right now I have a real basic setup going on. I'm in a corner, I have my camera at an angle, I have two lights right here, and then I have some little LED lights in the back to make up my pretty, you know, my pretty background, right? And if I was to darken it, it'll be a little prettier. You can see it, right? So once you get that figure out how to do your atmosphere and all that good stuff like that, then you have to figure out, well, if I'm spending time doing this and I'm helping the community and all that, because you want to make sure that you're creating great quality content, the next thing is, well, how am I monetize that? How am I going to monetize this? Well, of course, you're going to create a business out of it, because when you're under 1,000 subscribers, there are ways to make money, and then there are ways to make money even if you have under 1,000 subscribers without being monetized per se, right? And then after you hit that 1,000 and you are monetized, you still have YouTube going to take 30% of your earnings anyway. So it is what it is. Well, 30% like with your super chats and all that stuff, and then I think it's 40. Is it 40 or 45%? I forgot. When I did my contract in 2015, it was a 40-60 split. Okay, and I think now it might be a 45. Let's go to some of these comments. Let's see what y'all saying. Okay, Samantha said, what her say? Oh my goodness, I can't click on it. There we go. Samantha said, at Inya, yes, you have always remembered that you have to keep your composure when people That is absolutely correct. Miss Inya said, y'all, you are doing well. Well, thank you. Thank you. What else Miss Inya said? YouTube is a business. You can reach a lot of people and network with people around the world. Samantha said, I be wishing I had the kick some facts. And Inya said 30%. Oh yeah, it's a business, right? It is a business because everybody see like they'll be like, oh, we're monetized, and I just laugh because it's not funny, but monetization in a way is a good way a good thing and a bad thing because it's another way you can make money in your sleep. But however, everything goes by the mile, right? And so that's why content creators have to constantly put out material because you only get paid for every 1,000 views, right? So of course, if you're creating good content, you want to be able to drive people to your content, drive eyes, drive ears, and that's why people be on multiple platforms saying, hey, go check this out. I remember, on like super chats and I think even the thank you stickers, it's 30, they get 30%. It's kind of like Apple does when your app is in the app store. So if your app costs $1, you're going to get 70 cents and Apple is going to get 30%. Why? Because you're using their platform. So not only do YouTube take money off your ads, they also going to take money for you using their platform. That's why people do Patreon and stuff like that. Okay, but to each their own. But if you're running a business, another way that you're going to be able to make money is through merchandise, right? Merchandise sale, merch sales, consultation sales, right? You have to be able to drive people to your website, where even if YouTube does take their 30% off your supers and 40, like I said, when I did my contract, it was 60-40, but now I think it's 60-45. I can't think of the thing for AdSense now. I know I have a higher rate because when I started, that was what I locked in at, right? But anyway, with that, YouTube is going to take their percentage. So you still need to cover the other, you know what I'm saying, the other part. But it's, again, that's a whole show by itself, and I'm not into the whole YouTube training stuff. But yeah, support is the key. Hey, James! Y'all, let me tell you something. I have watched James and how he has grown his channel. James, he does totally opposite content from Lady Hale. And everything, but he supports YouTube creators. I believe he has over 40,000 creators over there, and they just be shouting out each other, growing each other. It is definitely a community. So Gype in the house. Thank you so much, James, for coming by. We appreciate you over there. All right. Inya says yes, support is key. Yeah, support is definitely support is key. YouTube is a business, right? So since you're running it like a business, guess what? When you get monetized and at the end of the year, every month when you're making that money, you still have to pay your taxes, right? Nobody tells a lot of creators this, but there are taxes that you need to pay quarterly off of your earnings because you have your earnings. YouTube already take a percentage of your earnings, and Uncle Sam say whatever your gross is, you still have to pay taxes off of that. I've been in business now for my husband and I both have been in business now for since we've been married. So that's over 15 years now. But, and you have to pay your quarterly taxes, right? So make sure you do your research as well, because many people start making a lot of money, and then when they get that tax bill at the end of the year, because the IRS, The moment you make over $600, guess what happened? YouTube is going to send a notification to the IRS and say, guess what? These people that made over $600, they owe y'all money. And so the IRS is going to say, okay, well, my money. So be prepared for that as well. So make sure your taxes, all that good stuff is in order. Again, there's a business to this thing, and everybody's tax rate is different. Consult with your tax people, and they could tell you your tax rate. Also on Nerd Wallet, it'll tell you like the amount that you make, which you will report your YouTube's earnings on your schedule C. Okay, but you can go and look all that up. Everything is Googleable, but I want you to know, yeah, you have taxes. James, what's your channel? And you said you have to pay taxes too. Wow, I had no idea. Oh wow, yeah, you have to pay taxes. Like I said, they're gonna report you, just like Cash App will report you. You make over $600 in a year. That's a whole year. They're going to report it. They're going to send you what they call a 1099-K, which you do have to report on your tax forms. So those are things that you want to be prepared, prepared for. And quarterly, make sure you're sending your, it's called a 1040 ES. 1040 ES. Those some gems I'm just dropping right now, but a 1040 ES form, you have to send that in quarterly, and you need to pay whatever your tax rate is. You need to pay that off of that. That's why people go and create S corps, LLCs and S corps. But it doesn't matter if you're a sole proprietor. Just know that you're subject to the self-employment tax as well as your federal tax as well. Okay, so yeah, you got that. So we talked about that. We're talking about your schedules, your family. And number 4, y'all, 5, I don't know if we're on number 4 or number 5. You can have fun, right? It's not always a bad thing or anything like that. You can have a lot of fun. Some days are frustrating because some days you might not see subscribers moving, or you might not be getting the views that you wanted and whatever. But consistency, y'all hear this, anybody will tell you that consistency is definitely key. Consistency is key to your growth, right? It's going to be key to the growth of your spouse. And if you're a content creator yourself as well, just balance it, okay? You'll still be able to put out your content while supporting your husband. And you have to make sure that, like, we do two opposite things, so we don't do the same thing. But at the same time, I could back off just a little bit from some of the things I do, but I still make sure I might not go live every day because that ain't gonna happen. But when I do go live, I have a lot of fun doing it and with the community. Okay, but with that said, do anybody have any questions? Let me know if you have any questions there, and I will be sure to answer them. I'll be definitely sure to answer them. Oh, y'all, I'm so excited about all the love that you guys have, that you have shown today. And I just wanted to encourage every type of girlfriend, wife, whatever. I want to encourage you that when your spouse decides to become a content creator, that there's some things that are gonna go into it. I didn't get into all the marketing, the advertising, the this, the that. I didn't get into all of that because that wasn't my goal today. My goal was to kind of give you some of the things to prepare for and what to expect. And also, even if you don't understand this and sometimes it gets overwhelming, girl, you got it. Hang in there. All right. So thank you again for tuning in to Lady Hale. Ladies, let's chat. I hope this chat was very informative. If y'all can do me a favor, can you press that share button and share this link on your Facebook? Also, please give me a like as well. And if you haven't already, press that subscribe button. Okay, we're gonna get this channel to 1K, right? And so I'm just blowing a little love over here. And again, thank you, Samantha, Enya, the Gype crew. Thank y'all. Much support and love to you as well. And that's another thing. Go outside your community. You will be surprised. There are other communities who actually love what you do. They might not do it, but they love what you do. And they have bigger communities who can share. Like Brother James, love him. Different different. And some of the stuff he said be kind of funny. But, you know, if you on the whole ASMR type stuff, you would definitely like the channel, but it's definitely different. But, you know, and look up some of the greats, like some of the influencers when it comes to social media growth that I personally look at is Daryl Eves, Sean Kennel. I remember when Sean was growing his channel. Of course, now if you don't like all the cussing, but I love Gary V. Gary, you gotta love him. He has some really amazing books that are out, and let me also show you some books as well that well, my books were over here. Now I don't know where they are. They were, oh, they might be on my other one second. They might be on my other bookshelf. 1 second. Yeah, they are. These are some books that I actually recommend, okay? And then I'm gonna get off. I promise you, I'm gonna get off, all right? Because I wasn't meant to be on here for a long time because I got nervous. All right, I mean, not that book. This, no, not that book either. This one, this is the OG book, okay? This book right here, and y'all can type in the comments so the people can see it. It's called Criminal Branding, right? And is by Patrick Hanlon, and he goes over basically of building a community, right? And in your community, you have now this book is older, but it's definitely a classic. Hold on, it normally used to break it down, but it's basically a classic. And so this is one you and your spouse, maybe you can read, etc. And it definitely talks about community growth, building your brand, all that good stuff like that. You're gonna love it. All right. Another one, it's not this, it's Crushing It, right? Crushing It is amazing. It is amazing by Gary V. And then and also it's an older book that came out before Crushing It. This is better when you read it on the audiobook. But it's another book that's called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. Again, that's talking about what you talking and then how you hook them into buying your products. And also by one of my two favorites is Sean Cannell and Benji Travis, YouTube Secrets. All right, these three for a fact are classics. All right, he also did a updated book, but I didn't really like the updated book. But this one right here, this is dope. Okay, so those are the three books you want to get into your thing, especially when you're growing a YouTube channel, etc. These are just some other books that was over there. All right, so again, let me go to my screen and make sure there's no more comments or anything like that. And let me see. And also, oh man, where did I? Okay, y'all, I haven't used this thing. All right, there we go. All right, Samantha said that, what I say? She said this was very informative. Enya says, have you ever felt like giving up, meaning giving up on, oh, absolutely. If you go to SHP Creative Space, you'll, we have over 700 and something videos over there, right? And you will see that I would start, I would stop. I would stop a long time. And then I start again, right? I wasn't consistent per se, Okay, because that channel can be way further along than where it is now. But yes, there were many a times where I wanted to give up, and many a times where I'm like, this is not even worth it. Many a times where I'm like, I done bought all this camera, I done bought all this equipment for what, right? So yeah, there are times where you want to give up, and sometimes you got to step back. But don't be like me and step back for 6 months. Right? And again, once, like I said, when you and your family or y'all are on board, then it won't always be, oh, well, you're always recording. You're always doing this and you're always doing that, because sometimes life can discourage you, right? It is easy to get discouraged. Oh my God, life will discourage you, or you might not make the money you want. You might not see people going to your website and purchasing your products or anything like that. And you have to, you're paying for your hosting, you're paying for your domain names, you're paying for all this management stuff, the overhead, because people's like, oh, you can just pull out your phone and da-da-da. You still got a phone bill to pay. Right? You still got an internet bill to pay because you got to upload all that good stuff like that. So there is overhead, and sometimes it is. It's just like, no, but if you're on YouTube, you should be on YouTube for a purpose. And that's to spread your message, whatever your God-given message is. Y'all know I'm a person of faith, and I believe that God gives everybody a message to impact. A message to educate, a message to empower, because we are made in the image and likeness of God. He has given us the creatorial power. So it is in our DNA to create, right? And in creation, there's always good things that can come about creating whatever creations you're creating. And there's also bad things that can come off with create, and we've seen that in the various communities. We've seen good things happen, we've seen bad things happen, we've seen people talk about people and drag people families and all that all that type of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you should be on YouTube to create, to impact, and to inspire. And if you're not doing any of those things, you're on YouTube for the wrong reason and you need attention. And so my encouragement is that doing what you do it for the right reasons. Do it to be encouraging, impactful. Because if you're not helping anybody, then you're wasting people's time, right? So that's my little spiel on that. Okay. And let's go to this last comment there. Samantha says, you make it look flawless. Okay, that's very encouraging. And again, you're so supportive, and thank you for all that you do in these YouTube streets. All right, so I am about to head up out of here. Again, I just wanted to come in, show you guys some love, and just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you are a creator or you are the spouse of a content creator and you have questions, be sure you can ask your questions down in the comments section below, and I do respond to all of my questions. And you like, hey, Lady Hale, let's collab, let's maybe do something about this or whatever, because maybe you're like I said, you're a spouse, and you're a content creator and you have a spouse, and your spouse they have a voice as well, right? So anyway, I don't mind collabing. You can always email me at, oh goodness, I'll put it in the description. Crystal, that's my email. So Crystal, CRYSTAL @exehostmasters.com. It's Crystal, my name, CRYSTAL @exehostmasters.com. Okay, you can reach me there. And until next time, God bless you all. And make sure, if you haven't already, to you'll see on my main channel, Sir Hale Speaks. So make sure you like that channel. They're going to be going live tonight. I think it's at 11 o'clock. So yeah, if you take a nap, take a nap. But be sure to go over there, subscribe to the channel, get notifications, etc. Until next time, I love you all. Bye.